Oh shit! What the fuck? Hola, mi amigos. I just saw Cryptique saying "Hola, mi familia" in it, so I thought, fuck it, let's do mi amigos. What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. So, welcome to the episode of Thanks Ready Trades, Daily Trades, Ready Trades, Daily Trades. How's it going, guys? Hope you guys doing well. Um, it's been a bit of a godly ass motherfucking move going on lately, isn't it? It's been massively just ramping on like non-stop, isn't it? So, just want to say love to you guys out there. Big shout out to you guys who actually caught the BTC move quite early on as well. I didn't caught in the BTC move. I'll be honest with you. I was looking for shorts. I was in a short on BTC and Ethereum. Got charred out. Was it on the yesterday or the day before? Something along the lines of that. And obviously it just rallied off. Didn't come back. Didn't come back down and whatever. So if you guys caught the BTC trade early, and I'm seeing this all on Twitter. People was like caught it quite early, like 18k. I've seen numbers. People had longs at 18k. Like damn boy, damn boy. So I mean, because the thing is, like, for me, I'm a lower time frame guy. So what it is, I've been playing it on the lower time frame for the last couple of weeks. Over the past 4 weeks or so, we've just been playing it up and down because it's been range bound for quite some time, and it's literally just rallied off quite hard. So for someone like myself who's missed out catching BTC and Ethereum at such a good price, an early price, and I'm not gonna catch BTC at 18k or 19k. I'm definitely not gonna catch that right now. And as price is rallying away. It comes to an interesting point for many of us, right? Like, what do we do? How do we get on board? Can we catch it? Can we do this? Can we do that? X, Y, and Z. It's a very interesting subject that most people would experience in the future again, and it is also another. It's an interesting experience right now. The experience right now, and then one of those things that you need to actually bear in mind is that no matter what, you're gonna have to stay calm and be cool and always think of plans, and which is why I believe, in my personal opinion, it's very important to understand price action. When you understand price action and you miss a trade, and the trade doesn't come your way, how do you get on board? That's a very important thing, because I'm sure it's not going to be the first time that someone's going to miss the trade, or like myself is going to miss a trade, and it's not going to be the last time someone's going to miss a trade, and or myself going to miss a trade. So, you know what? Because we pumped, right? Why am I smoking a roll up? Why am I smoking a roll up? You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna open up a pack. I've got 3 packs of these bad boys here in it, right? Got 3 packs of these, right? To celebrate with with all of you guys, we're gonna celebrate Bitcoin smoking a fucking brand new pack. Yeah, let's fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's smoke a pack. So it has been an interesting one. It has been interesting. I was watching BTC last night for quite some time actually. I was like, okay, we're gonna get a pullback. We're gonna get a pullback. Obviously, not a pullback to like an exact easy pullback that I would love, but at least a decent pullback that I can look to long. But then like it's coming down a lower time frame, and it just rallied off. So I mean, there's a lot of things that's going on. Obviously, we understand that Twitter, Elon Musk come out saying like they can actually finalize this on Friday. The deal on Friday, 55 billion to buy Twitter out on Friday. At the same time, we understand that Twitter also is reportedly building a crypto wallet, which I don't think is going to be of use right now for this run itself. I still believe it's a bear market rally. We'll look at what's possible, where the bear market rally can reach up to, and X, Y, and Z. We look at it, but we play level to level as it is, play it as it goes on. I will always stress about level to level. Reason being is that price is always in a range, right? So whether you step out, remember the 30k range that we were playing in, 30 to 60k, that's a range. That's still a range. So it's level to level. So if you're leveraging, I wouldn't tell anyone to hold on. Like let's just say, for example, you bought Bitcoin now, right? You bought Bitcoin now at $20,000, and it rallies. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I'm just giving an example, and it rallies all the way to $60,000. The ones who held got lucky. That's what it is. It's quite lucky because why? Because as we understand with the economy, the economics, the economy. Sorry, the economy. We understand that it's quite bearish. It's quite bearish. We know that Microsoft missed the deadline missed the bell for the reports. Same with Google as well. I believe Google came down low, came down quite, but it wasn't positive. It's down for them. Microsoft just 0.1, 0.4% better than last quarter as well. So it's not great numbers we're talking about, but there's still some some iffiness in the market across the board in terms of traditional markets with dollar index, the ES and whatnot. And so I don't think this is going to be a bull market, like a full brand new bull market up to 60K. I don't think so. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. This is trading. I may be wrong. But let's just say if you bought at 20K, right now, I mean, Bitcoin's at 20.7K. You bought Bitcoin at 20.7K and you're leveraging, for example, right? And you held it all the 60K. You just got pretty lucky if you ask me. The reason why, because of course the economy looks bad. It looks like we're going to recession. In my opinion, I think we're still going to recession. They're not claiming it to be recession, but if the Feds do come out of it, because they longed it all out by an extra 2 quarters. So 2 quarters, right? They made it to 4 quarters and whatnot. So if you held it, then you got lucky to hold it up to 60K. Okay, but working it level to level, you can understand how each level reacts and what each level does and what you expect in terms of a movement price reaction, in terms of a pullback, a breakdown, or breakout. There's all these little things you gotta work out. But in the meantime, we work out what's going on there. Okay, so that's a little bit about about Bitcoin, crypto. Talked briefly about Elon Musk. Oh yeah, Elon Musk is buying the Twitter deal, sorting out the Twitter deal by Friday approximately. That's what the reports are saying. So could be bullish for the next run, which in my opinion will be the next run will be quite important as well, because we've already seen on Twitter you got influencers got the little payout, you can tip them and whatnot, the super follow kind of stuff. And you also got Rishi is the new prime minister, and he's pro crypto. But he's got the whole CBDC coming up, so it's quite scary that is. So anyway, let's work onto the charts. Before we do so, let's do the morning shout out. You know how it goes. Smash up the likes, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Who do we have here? We got Gandalf in the house. How you doing? We've got Cryptique here. Good to have you here. Cryptique, are you Mexican or Spanish? It's hard to tell which one it is, Mexican or Spanish, until you tell me which which side you are. You got Daink Country Club, Mr. M. How you doing, thingy, my G? You got Guna in the house. Robert Woods. Yeah, I got the PC fixed last night. Yesterday. Freaking hell, that was a bit of a mission. That was. I don't know what happened there, but bit of a. But it's also nothing too big anyway. We got Anglio here in the house. Sebastian, what's good? Blank. Got Trader with ND. Trade with ND here as well too. Cars in the house too. Yuri's in the house. Who else? Ed's here. Derry, my man. How you doing, my bro? T-Raw. Scepter boys. Morning to you too. You're new here. I don't think I've seen you on the chat before. Welcome. Hugh Janus, Justin. We've got Sorin. Trandafir. Morning to you too. I think you're new too as well. 6% Google lower there. 6%. That's right. Yeah, it was really low on Google. No more Twitter bots. Michael Caffrey's here, my bro. And we've got Kian Feng Chi. Hey champ, how you doing, my brother? Good to have you here too as well. Got Vale. Meltdowns here too as well. Pepper Spice. CBDC goes completely against the decentralized crypto space, so we can't get that confused. That's absolutely true there. It's like running like China, isn't it? So that's thank you, Pepper Spice, for that. Sahvan Patel, Alex Coleman, and Miko Wave. Morning to you guys. Good to have you here. Well, afternoon from the UK. Hey Freeze, we are gonna do an ETH update. Don't worry about that. Just be patient. We're gonna go through the whole thing first, okay? So let's start with dollar index. Talk about dollar index. So dollar index, what's happened there? Briefly touch into dollar index, right? I think it's really important that we pay attention to what dollar index does, because whatever happens to dollar index is going to affect the stocks and crypto altogether. Okay, so number one, we're going to go on the meme side of things first. We've got this trend line over here. Then we've got this trend line over here. That's the base, and that's the high over there. And we've got this mid-range over here, okay? And as you can see, hide everything off. We're just going to keep it nice and simple. As you can see, nice and easy going, right? See the trend line going up, down, so higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Then it looks like we've actually kind of broken out this the market structure. You know what I'm saying? So market structure is changing from this point of view. So if I show you, we've got a low. My head's in the way, obviously, as always. Let me move myself up there. Let's run this down. We've got the low, the high, higher low, high. Well, you can. This is high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Then you got higher low, higher high, higher low. And this is turning over. It's now turning over. We couldn't take out these highs there, and then it steps back into this range. So now this looks like a a lower high, and that's broken market structure. Not complete confirmed yet at all. I'd say yep, it does look like it's broken because we wicked it into it there. So we do expect some sort of pullback. So what could happen next is something like this, come back as resistance of this trend line and break back down over here, and then it could just come down over here, do something like this, break down, and do something like it could do something like that. I don't know. I'm just looking at what the market structure is looking at, but that's market structure wise. If it's going to be bearish, right? So then we're going to start breaking down and lose, like, absolutely confirmation is once we lose this trend line over here, bearish confirmation, and off we go. And then we're looking to come down into areas like, for example, probably here first. That's target 1. I mean, we got a long way to go. This is just from being a far stretch over there. Target 1. I mean, now I'd say target 1 will have to be this area here. This area here first, and then probably look at this area next, right around there, because you can see price in terms of an SR point of view. This is all the consolidation, and we have this big pop up there. So that's the, that's what we're looking for. But we might get a pull up. We don't know. Might pull up, break up higher, fill out these inefficiencies. Doesn't have to. It might do so. Once we break down, go back to the trend line, and we wait and see how we lose at this trend line over here. So this, I could be completely wrong. It could just do something like that on a lower time frame of the 4 hours. Looks like it's broken the market structure, but then it could rally back up into bullishness. We don't know exactly, but it's starting to show us some sort of bearish market structure of this little area here. But the key point is how we react off this low there. That's number 1. Number 2, let's look at horizontal lines. Horizontal lines, what's happening, okay? So we know, right, quite clearly that we've got key levels here marked out. Number 1, this is the macro mid-range that we looked at, okay? That's the mid-range, that's the range low, okay? We're just gonna keep them focused on these area, and that's the 25% of the range, okay? Oops, get that properly. That's the 25% of the range. So that's what's happening right here. So if we hide all this, oh, don't need anything else? Nah, I don't need anything else. So that's the area that we got to focus between this high, this mid-range to this low. That's what we're focusing over here. So this is on the macro range. I've done it before. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm just gonna zoom through this because we're trying to squeeze in some alts in here. Bring my head back down as well, actually. So what's happening with Ethereum? Ethereum obviously has come down to areas of this area here. So let me just get this. See this area consolidation right over here? That's where it's bouncing off, right? There's this area here. This area consolidation over here. That's number 1. And number 2, we got SR, right? So it all lines up quite well. This is the SR right here. Let me just change that color actually. Put that black. This is the SR. So we're just below the SR, so 4 hours. So we'll see how we react. So it's still early on the 4 hours, new candle, right? And obviously from this candle here, broke it down, come down, retesting this area consolidation. If it was to be bullish, this will be a retest, reclaim and hold above it, and then what we're looking for a reaction. If it's going to be bullishness, then we're looking for a reclaim of the 25% of the range, which is the mid range between the mid range and the range low, and then we're going back up into these areas here. That's what we're looking for, and then we see what happens. Do we break down or do we carry on going up higher? That's what we're looking for. That's number 1. That's the bullish play. Or the bearish play is that now that we lost this mid range over here, we're going any pullback, we expect some sort of resistance into this area consolidation over here. So if it breaks down and finds resistance, that's a pullback scenario there. Come back into this area. The moment we come back down, once we lose this block over here, once we lose this consolidation, then we got all this inefficiency to fill out. Then we start looking for this base of consolidation right here. Let me try to highlight this properly out. Put this there, put that there, and then you see this high. Oops, fuck, yellow. Yellow's fucking bright in my fucking eyes, isn't it? From this high to this low, approximately there, and that's the area we're looking for. And it just so happens that consolidation between there, this is the mid-range approximately, okay? Then we see how we react off this here, and we can actually bounce back off there, and that's the area. Once we bounce into there, that's pretty much, well, especially back into the range low, that's pretty much the trade done in terms of from the high, from here, back to down there. We don't know what's going to happen next. Do we find some support? Because we got midterm coming up in a few weeks' time. If it carries on going higher, then we're looking to go back up to the mid-range, and we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe reclaim and go back into this area of consolidation that we're playing back in for quite some time there. So that's that. Or if it's going to be bearish, and like it's, dollar decides to actually break down, If it breaks down and give us that setup that we're looking for in terms of trend line, let it do its thing there. That's that. That's the dollar index there. That's what we got there. Let's move on. ES. ES is actually, you know, pumped hard. It's pumped really, really hard. So, what's up, got that? How you doing, brother? Can you do Tesla towards the end? It might be a fun one. Oh yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do Tesla in the end. Remind me about that, Gandalf. Appreciate that. Yeah. So ES. ES is actually pumped up quite hard. So do you remember I was talking about the daily close, that there was a gap on the daily? We smashed above it. So yeah, on the daily. Okay. Wasn't too keen about it yesterday. This area here, this candle here, on the Monday, I wasn't too keen about it. Tuesday, obviously, bang, smashed up completely. And obviously, where we're finding resistance, we're finding resistance of this area here, this low here. This is it. So that's where the resistance is. So we don't know what's going to happen next. So just talking briefly about ES. Obviously, we've got support at the 2021's range low. So we're going to focus between these areas here, between mid-range to range low. Market structure is bullish. We can agree with that. Reason why, if you look at it, if that was the high, that was the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then this becomes this looks like the lower high, but then this becomes the higher low because we couldn't take out this low. And what happens is, bang, smashes out this high, breaks market structure. So now any pullback, it looks like it's going to be a long. Okay, so ES is looking quite strong. So we can actually comfortably say, as long as ES is looking strong, then Bitcoin and Ethereum and all your alts are going to go up high. Okay, so we can all agree with that, no problem. Let's see what's happening, what we're looking at for ES. Well, the areas we're looking at, let's have a look. So I'm going to mark out some areas, at least to actually focus on. And then I'm going to work from there. Oops, oh my, fuck that. It's the first one. Show my indicators, there we go. What's up, Circuit? How you doing, brother? I haven't checked out your RV setup, Goonie. I haven't checked it out actually. Watch this man still use it. I can show your setup if you want. If you like, I can show your setup on the stream, you know, and then give you a really good shout out. I don't mind doing that. It's entirely up to you. Obviously, I'm not going to show it without your permission. So you tell me if you're happy with me doing that. By all means, I'm happy to do that too as well. Because you know, like Goonie's good, man. He's a good geezer as well. How are you, Baguette? You remember? Baguette. So we got range low, the mid range of 2021, and here is the 25% of the range. Okay, I'll show. Okay, that's fine. I'll chart mine, then we'll bring yours in. No problem. We can bring that on next as well. Yeah, 100%. So what we'll do with the BTC, we'll run through BTC, then we'll run through Ethereum, then I'll do RV, and then I'll get Goonie's chart. And if you guys have any more alts requests, we'll try and fit that in as well, okay? Remember the third law, of course. Remember Baguette. Oh, bless you, Circuit. Appreciate that, man. Big love to you, my bro. So that's the range we got. Let's get rid of all this shit. So let's see what we got here, okay? So from an SR point of view, right? So now we've got a range. I'm gonna bring in some SRs and see what are the key elements actually holding the market up on the downside and whatnot. So number one, obviously, we can see that this area here, right, was acting as resistance. Well, this low here, we know that was acting as resistance. We've broken out of it, and we know market structures on the upside. We've already found support up here. Off this daily candle, we found support. Do we pull back? We don't necessarily need to pull back. Because if we're gonna have a pullback, where could the pullback be? It could be off this high itself. Because you could see literally this high here was acting as resistance from this high there. So the way it's acting bullish, right? It doesn't need to pull back. Like you know, when the thing is, right, when it comes to trading, right, when it comes to charts, a lot of the time when we miss out an opportunity itself, for example, we try to look for, oh, we want it to come back down over here, and then I'll buy over here, then it comes up, and then it's bullish and X, Y, and Z. That's what we like to do. We like to do that kind of outlook itself. But we need to remember that if the chart leaves us, it leaves us. We've seen it happen many times before. Pick that up later. Yeah, we've seen it happen many times before, and so which means that if it's gonna if it's gonna be bullish, it's gonna be bullish, right? For example, look at when we broke out BTC, and I'll show you the BTC charts in 2020 when we start smashing out. around November, December. We just broke out, didn't even give any retest at all, and a lot of us will actually miss out on early runs and early entries, which is not a problem. But you got to focus on how the chart is reacting off certain levels. Where is it reacting off highs and lows, and then look for opportunities for, because sometimes, right, you have to enter. Because remember, I always say to you, there's two types of entry. There's one. What's up, Dubsdorf? How you doing? There's two types of entries. Number one, you look for an entry based on invalidation. So, for example, when this is broken up on the upside, that is bullish. Broken market structure, you can say you're absolutely wrong over here. All right, you can put a stop loss over here, but you're absolutely wrong here. That's your invalidation. So I could have entered in any way of this time, and it doesn't matter. Yes, I'm gonna have a bit of, it might pull back over here a little bit and do this as well before he goes up higher. I might be underwater, but I know that I'm safe to enter it. I have more probability on my side to go on the upside. Okay, so that's one way of actually entering in, is based on the validation. The second one to enter in is when you start marking out your highs and lows and all that kind of stuff and your SRs, you're looking for price to see whether it comes back down, right? Whether it comes back down over here. Let's just say there's a pullback into here. I'm happy to enter in with base, and then have, again, stop loss will still be here. My invalidation still be here. If I want to keep a stop loss there, it's not a problem. I'm happy to enter in, or you can keep it tight on a smaller time frame and whatnot. But I'm just giving you an example. I'm happy to enter in, let it do its thing. It might pull back deeper, no problem. Once it reclaims and hold this level there, show me its bullish market structure, then I can say, yeah, we are definitely going to go up higher, X, Y, and Z. That's the second entry there. But what if it doesn't give us a pullback? What do we do? You know, it's very, very possible it doesn't give us a pullback. If we get a retest of here and we start holding above it, it shows us retest and it shows us bullish market structure. This is starting to give me the confidence that we are going up higher to where the 25% of the entry, and this is actually giving me an opportunity to enter without it going back up to this area here. If it goes up on one godly candle like that, I've completely missed all this move over here. So sometimes missing out a move is not a problem, but don't stress out because you missed checking in quick. Hey, what's up, Vanessa? How you doing? Sometimes, yeah, if you miss out an entry, you miss out the entry. Just wait for the next entry. It's about being patient. You can't let the emotion ride out for you, because get the better of you. Because when you look at it this way, of the last 4 weeks or so, right, while the market has been range bounding, we've been playing up and down, up and down, up and down. Those who actually decided to say, yeah, and this is all like important stuff I'm telling you, which is quite useful for yourself as well. Which is like, remember this for the next run itself anyway, especially in the next bull run. So when you miss out a trade, you miss out a trade. You either enter a trade based on it, like, you know, you enter the trade and you put your stops on a stop loss or invalidation where you think it's comfortable for you. But if you miss out a trade, do not get stressed about it. Don't start saying, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. Because the market did give us opportunities many times. It gave us opportunities over here, over here. Well, obviously down here it was fucking scary anyway, so we wouldn't really be buying over here in this area. When price got up over here, broken this market structure there, it's like it came back down. So a lot of us would have actually entered in base on the stop loss of this. This is the invalidation. Price wicked us out, no problem. So it wicks us out. What do? Look for a way to get back on board. If it wicks us out, there's two things gonna happen. Either it's gonna break down and keep going lower, then we flip the bias going down short. But if it reclaims these levels over here, the range low, then we can enter in base. We can enter in over here, have an invalidation here, and still go on longs. And you just lost 1 R, you gain your R's all the way back up. That's what it is. So always remember, no matter what, you're always gonna have to be patient and have to be. It's difficult. Don't get me wrong. It's very difficult to actually get your mind wrapped around, like, it's okay to miss a trade. It's okay to catch on the next one. Like, even if it doesn't come as clear, it's okay. You understand. There's two options to enter, based on invalidation or based on a retest. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Okay. So don't get stressed out. Don't get stressed out. The worst thing you can do is just start losing your patience. Like, oh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. I wish I did. Look, I missed the BTC run. Okay, I missed it. No problem. Those who caught it, congratulations. Be happy for them. I'm really pleased for that people caught the BTC trade. I've seen people showing the P&Ls and, like, you know, they're saying that they got in at 18, 19k, 19.2k. The guys in the group, someone was saying that they got in at 19.2k. You know. Had an entry at 19.2k for longs, you know, and that was on Tuesday, I believe they entered in or something like that. So, you know, just because they got in at 19.2k and now I'm looking at entering at 20k, Yeah, I lost $800 a move. No problem. I can get in board on any other time. It's just being patient and understanding what's going on. Do not stress about it. So when it comes to let's go back to to ES. But when it comes back to getting into an entry, just be patient. Just be patient. Let it come to you. Have your plan, because a lot of us, we mess up when it comes to patience. But just have your plans, and once you have your plans, then you enter in. Or if you want to enter in because you're being impatient, you can enter in right now, put a stop loss wherever you want to put it, here, whichever you feel comfortable. Play the game then. That's what we're doing. We know it's bullish. We have confirmation it's bullish. This is giving us enough confirmation that, yep, it's time to go in. It's definitely time to go in. Once we step back up above here, it's definitely still time to go in. So we have other ways to play, whether you play on the daily, the 4 hours, or whichever time frame you play, okay? Obviously, you guys know that I love playing on the 15 minutes. I love it. I don't have the patience, me personally, to hold positions for too long. That's one thing about me. Like, I can hold it for a day or two, maybe 3 maximum, but I don't. It agitates me, you know what I'm saying? So even Gar says, agreed. I entered in validation this morning on BTC at 20.3k. Congratulations, my bro. You know? So, but obviously we're gonna have to monitor BTC as we're coming up, keep going up higher. Right? Yeah, man. Smash up the likes, man. Show us some love, man. 73 people here, man. That's a good number today. Apple earnings out tomorrow. That'd be interesting. With the iPhone 4 Pro Max and stuff like that. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be high or low. This is interesting. But could be could be liquidity grab. We don't know. So, yes, if it holds above here, right, shows bullish market structure, doesn't give this pullback. This is still confirmation for us to go back up to 25% of the range, right? Once we get up there, then we look at how we go on there. The next SR, which is based on, I would say, what did I say, this? Yeah, I'd say it's off this low here. This low? No, I'd say this one over here. I'd say, because obviously we got this, see how we got this block over here? Right? This was the area that I'm quite concerned about as well. So I'm definitely, and he does come out at the base of this as well. So I'll mark this box up there, but we're looking at price. See how this price was consolidating over here, broke up, do a deviation, come back up, deviates it, comes back down, finds resistance, sells off. So then we're looking at this area here. Once we enter this area, it becomes profit taking time for like these for a lot of people there. So if you step up back into here, holds above it. Next area of resistance will be around here, off this base of the consolidation right here, and then we'll see if we can squeeze up, taking out these highs there. We don't know, but we'll see what happens, and maybe we squeeze into the mid range. Once we get there, we'll see what happens next. Okay, play it level to level, see what happens, because what could happen is the price would come up, either come up into here and still break down, get back below this box over here, and then goes back down here. We don't know, but we play it level to level, and that could be the rally's over, the bear market rally's over. Okay. So can you show us an example of bullish market structure on lower time frame? I mean, look, this is bullish market structure right here. It's the same. You can just run this down on a 10 minutes or 15 minutes as well, whichever you want. I literally just did this a couple of minutes ago. You see, you got market structure here: high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we got higher low, thingy. So we got this. This becomes a lower high. Sorry. And that's a higher low. Then we broke up market structure. This high, that's high, was capping the market. As you can see, resistance, and we have a clean smash above it. That's bullish market structure there. And bearish market structure is opposite. You'll see the same thing on the 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It just, it's pretty much, it takes a little practice to actually run through that. But literally, Thomas, if you look at that, that gives you the premise there. Probably find something in a moment as well. That's ES done. What's next? Let's do BTC. Now BTC has come back to 20.6k. I said it was 20.7. It's come back to 20.6k. Interestingly enough, where is it? My throat is dry. Give me a second, guys. Let me get a drink, and we get this cracking on in a bit. Yo, Cuffin, what you saying, my bro? How you feeling on BTC and ETH? BTC and ETH is looking bullish though. I ain't gonna lie to you. My next area that I'm looking at is 21.7k. That's the next one thingy. Pulled down. Dude, that's the thing is I was looking at the charts for a bit of a pullback, but it didn't come out. On my Fight Club, what you saying, my brother? Good to have you here, my brother. For those who don't know who Cuffin is one of my guys. Let me plug him on YouTube as well. He's really heavy on NFTs. So if you guys have like you know, are willing to NFTs, he's definitely your go-to guy in my opinion. So let's go into YouTube. Cuffing the dip. Give my boy, subscribe to him as well. Give my boy a like as well. Check him out. I did one of my videos with him as well. I think we hit 1,000 views. Fair play, man. Back then, I was a special guest on one of his shows as well. It was literally not too long ago, a few days ago. Give him a shout as well. Lovely geese as well. Proper cool, chilled out guy, man. So big love to him as well. Appreciate you coming on the show as well. Really love you there. Hey, what's up, Mad Catbat? Can you look at PYR? I'll try and fill into PYR as well. We'll have a look in a bit. So Vale's saying I'm heavy into NFTs. Yeah, then Cuffing the Dip is your guy. Definitely hit him up. Definitely hit him up. You know, and check out his streams. Like he's in the American side, so obviously his streams like when I think like I was up at 3:30 in the morning to do the stream with him as well. So definitely check him out, 100%. So in terms of BTC, quickly have a look. Let's see. So we had right. So let me just show this. So you see how things are going over here. We're still in a period of consolidation. Where are we consolidating? Well, you can see from this low here, that's one area of consolidation, and you can see from this high here, area is that's what's capping the market. Right? We're just focused on this area, as you can see quite clearly. Price is still stuck within here, right? So we could still go up, come into this area here, and still send lower, or we can reclaim, go up, and then still come back lower. We don't know. We don't even know. We don't know if this 24 is going to be the top, or the bear market top, or 21.7, 21.8k is going to be the top. We don't know exactly, or 22k, whichever number you want to put up there, approximately around that number. We don't know if that's going to be the top. We do know we have inefficiency here, and we are starting to fill this out, which is quite interesting there. So as you can see where the price is now, this is where the high is. So we still got all this inefficiency to fill out. Fuck off. Delete. No. So we still got from here to here. So we've got this little area here that I've highlighted, this area here to fill out. So there's definitely a run up to go up to there. That's a definite fact. So you can, so it'll be an easy scalp, an easy day trade as well to actually pick onto that as well. So that's one thing. Once we break up, once we get up to the, get past this area. Fuck off. What's going on over here? Once we get past this area here, right? These area, this specific candle, then we can start looking at if we actually range bound in here. We don't know, but once we get back up and hold above it, then we know we can squeeze up all the way back to range high. All right, so we'll see what happens, but we're at this level to level because we don't know exactly how high this is going to go. We can't say 60k. Can it go to 60k? It can. This is crypto. I mean, the economy could change completely. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just looking at what the chart is saying. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But the thing is, you see these godly ass candles over here. You see this candle over here, this candle here. It's not as godly as that candle there. So we're starting to push up higher there. So I like, if it was gonna actually be quite bullish, I don't want to see a fast spike up. When you see a fast spike up like this, what happens is it tends to get filled. You got this one fat candle right over here in particular. Then the next 1, 2, 3 candles are quite small. It's like it's tipping, and then bang, it drops down like a motherfucker. And that's what happens, and it grinds all over here. So that's one. So we're looking at the range of this range here. That's what we're playing at. And then also you can also look at the consolidation where price was consolidating from this high itself, that's capping the market, to this low here, that's capping the market. We've broken out of it, cleanly broken out of this range quite clearly. And if you especially have a daily close above here and you retest, play up on the upside. So how do we get on board now? That's one thing. Let's bring up my levels. There's 2 charts I want to bring on. Number 1 is the July's range. July's low over here. Oh yeah, and before I carry on, this is the range which we were consolidating for like a month, actually 5 weeks. We've been consolidating, and we've been playing this left, right, and center. So I can't be sad, right? And that's the thing. You see this area here? I can't be sad missing this move here. This is just one day. One day is not gonna justify, like it's gonna like, because I missed 1 day's worth for long, it's not gonna make me feel like, oh shit, I missed that. I can't be sad about it because I've been playing it all the way here, from low to high. The deviation, we played from the deviation back down. Once we played back down, we played it back down to the south. I think we played back to mid range, and then I played a quick spike up there on Scalp. Remember this there? Then we played it back up to the range high. Played it back down. You know, we were bouncing off there. That's what we did for the rest of the week, of the 4 weeks. So just because of one godly candle like that doesn't mean that oh yeah, shit, we missed it. You know, it's over. No. We just get on to the next one. We'll see what's up. You know, there's always levels of resistance. As you can see, this high, right? This high was capping the market. As you can see right there, resistance. This was resistance, and we've finally broken above it. Now we've broken above it. Do we retest and hold it low to go up higher? We don't know, but we're gonna work this out. So the first chart I want to bring on is July's range. July's range. We've got July's high, and this is where I'm not gonna just put in just July's low. I'm not just gonna put the high and the mid. I'm gonna put everything into it as well. We've got 25%, 50%, and 75%, 25. Right? Bring these up there, and I'm just gonna hide everything up. Now let's have a look here. That's the daily. On the 4 hour, I should have done on the 1 hour actually. Fucking hell. I kind of fucked up, didn't I? Yeah, I fucked up, didn't I? Yeah, I fucked up. Let's try again. My throat's dry. Give me a second, guys. I'm just gonna get a drink. Give me 1 moment there. Sorry about that. Just 1 moment there. Let me make a note. Can't even spare a minute. Just give me 1 moment there. Thank you. Alright, I'm back. It's already been a minute. Oh, come on, hey furries. We could peace break. What a geezer. Right, so let's have a look at this. So we're going to focus on this area here in particular. Just like we did with ES and dollar index, we're going to do the same thing, okay? Which is what? Focus between this actually. Range low. 25% range. And mid range. That's all we're gonna focus on right now. And then you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna bring this up there so we can see extended targets and whatnot. Yeah, that's better. That's much better actually. So we got range low. 25% of the range and mid range. That's what we're gonna focus on and keep it nice and simple, working it from one target to another target. Okay. So as we are aware that here we are above the monthly open. This is the monthly open. We're above the monthly open. The monthly open closes in literally how many days? A couple of days actually. In about 4 days. 4 days it closes. 5 days, sorry, 5 days. So we do. It seems to look like we're gonna actually break out and have a very nice monthly close anyway. So all good there. That's number one. Number two, this is the range high that we've been playing in. The range band environment that we played in. And this is the range low. Now I'm going to remove everything else, and then we keep this nice and simple. We'll see what happens there. Ideally, what I was looking for is this is going to be resistance yesterday. I was looking for this as a trend line was building up. We had a steep trend line there. We had a bit of a thing, obviously a triangle there. This is now the memes come into place quite well actually, if you think about it. Right. So you know, I don't know if you guys have seen these memes. You know, when price goes up and then you have this cause up and then shoots up. and really it's like that triangle. I don't know if you guys seen it. You must have guys have seen it as well. But that's what's happened over here. We have that bullish ass triangle there, and it's all done there. I was looking for a bit of a retest there. What I was looking for, and I was telling the guys there, you know, if we come back into this area here, in the find support, it didn't give us the pullback. Find support, if it comes back into the range low, comes back here, we could have entered in, that's your confirmation to go up higher, but it didn't give us that pullback. Instead, it's blasted off, took out these highs over here. So now that it's taking out these highs, how do we get on board? Number one, again, you can enter based on invalidation, right? If we are bullish to fill out all this inefficiency all the way up there, going to mid-range, you can enter in now, no problem, with a stop loss here. That's your invalidation, right? Which is in reality, that's what? How much R is that from here? From here to there. You're not gonna make like beautiful like 2-3 R's, but you're gonna make a decent R. That's like 1.5 R. Not a bad place. Not a bad place to even play that anyway. So it's not a bad idea. That's one thing. Let me bring this back up. Yep, there we go. It's not a bad thing to do. So, but we'll see what happens. That's number one. So how do we get on board? Number one is that now that we're making higher highs, right? And this is the high, and now we made a new higher high, and that was the higher low. We want to see this low hold. That's why it's based on invalidation. That's why you put your stop loss there, right? It's a swing low right there. So if price come back down and find support, I'm happy to enter in with a stop loss here to play it back up to the mid range. I'm quite happy to do that. That's one idea. Another idea, it could even come back down, retest off here, and really and truly, do you know that triangle? It could be a retest of this triangle itself. You could really do that, not a problem. And once it does this, reclaims, and again, based on invalidation, you can enter in here based on invalidation, playing back up. Once we reclaim this SR, this is an SR, this high is resistance, broken out of it. Now any retest will be support, because it was acting as resistance before. It will be support. This will be bullish market structure, play back up, and that's it. That's the trade done there. Pretty simple, it's not too complicated, but if you want to break it down into a lower time frame on the 15 minutes, it's going to be a little bit more trickier. Not so easy to catch on, and it's the same principle, really same principle. I mean, look, these are the highs there. You know, let's see, we got consolidation going on here. So we have a range band environment. So using SRs on this particular one. So that's the range high, and I'd say this would be the range low. So that's the range band environment. You can see price was range banding in this area here. Okay, going from the high to low, then to the mid to low, back to mid, then we reclaim the mid. And obviously, I think the mid would be around. Fuck off! What's going on here? That's the higher that's capping the market. That's the low that's capping the market there. So which means that I'm happy for us to come back down. See how we got this fin move over here? We didn't fill it out, but we're making higher highs. It might do the same thing. This fin move here, it make higher highs. No problem there. But you see how price is calling down? Let it call itself down. We can enter in a couple of invalidations. I'm gonna zoom into 10 minutes. I'm gonna zoom into this actually, just to squeeze it back up to that, so you guys can see, and it's a lot more wider for you guys. There we go. That's the highest cap in the market again, and the low was this low. All right, so prices range band in this area shut up in one go. It didn't give us any time. Godly ass motherfucking candle up there. Now, if we get a pullback, come back into here, into the range high, I'm quite happy to enter in bullish market. I'm quite happy to enter in. This is your confirmation, playing it back up to the range high, the mid range of July's mid range. That's number one. Number two, all right, is what if it doesn't give us that deeper pullback? Well, you see this high here in particular, it might just retest off the highest high from these candles there. You see how this high didn't act as resistance right here, but the next candle is shut up. So this could be an area that this price can actually come into here, wick into this, you can buy into here, play up, wick into this, and then show bullish market structure. This is your entry, and go up higher. That's the second option there. You're gonna have to monitor it as it comes along. The third option is that what if price doesn't give us this whole pullback scenario? What happens then? Again, you can enter in with based on invalidation over here. This is, you're completely wrong in this idea over there, and then you're playing it back up. But one way to do it is that you got a trend line over here. You see this trend line there? I'll probably use this trend line over here. So we're calling down. We're calling down. Once we call down, if we break out of it, right? Once we break out of it, it's always giving the invalidation there. It's already telling us that the price is going up higher. Once we do this, you can enter in based on invalidation. Again, this is crypto. It's not going to give us any time to actually breathe, and it will show us bullish market structure, hold above it, and it could just pop up in one go. That's another option there. It's just fucking, it's one of those moments where you just buy and just freaking hold it. That's one way. Spot trading is probably the easiest way to do this right now. Spot trading, you're quite happy to put a spot buy in now, playing it up higher. And the same thing with alts doing. Also, actually are kind of gearing up. The focus on the money at the moment is really coming down onto Bitcoin and Ethereum. A lot of the money is still flowing on there, and that's why we get these massive godly candles. Like Ethereum pumped up at 11%, and BTC pumped out at 8-10% as well. We're seeing these massive candles. So as that's happening, soon, like, money are flowing into alts, but it's not fully focused on alts just yet. So I believe that we have a little bit of time, but we can still start entering alts, and which is why I'm looking at alts next as well. If you were trading bullfrag, could have bought a retest? Yeah, you could have, definitely you can. But sometimes, what if it doesn't give a retest? You know, you have to bear that in mind, because we're in a very bullish short-term bullish, right? We're in a very bullish phase right now. Sometimes we don't get these retests. I'll give you an example where we didn't get a retest. So, do you remember back in, I don't know if you guys can remember, let's go cast your mind back in, let's go in the 4 hours, we'll do this here. Let's cast your mind all the way back to 2020, 2021, yeah, here you go, 2020. See how price over here, how many of us missed out this? That was the range, that was the high, that's the range high, and that was the range low, okay? How many of us watched this pop up, hoping for a retest? You know, but it was such a bullish phase. Obviously, this is different. Like the market is very different from back then in 2020 to the market how it is right now. We can agree with that. But I'm just giving you an example of the idea that when it's just bullish, look at this. Like, this is on the 4 hours, right? On the 4 hours, yeah. On the 4 hours, so this is the high, and this is the low. On the 4 hours, you got 4 hours, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So it gave us 32 hours of just non-stop up candles. 32 hours when he poured up there. And even then, when you're trying to establish a high, this is the high there, and then you establish a low, probably I would say this low over here would have been established. We find some retest. How many of us back then, right, was looking for a pullback here, the stool actually looked for a long. And then instead, what happened was, it just decided to blast off. It shows a deviation, resistance. This was sort of support. People looking for over here to come back down, range bounding. But if you blast off, quick retest. See that quick retest right here, and then bang, sells off. That's what could happen right now. The same principle could happen just exactly right here where we are right now. So what I'm saying to you guys is just be prepared for anything where to come. So targets wise, we'll be looking for mid-range, which is 21.6k, I believe, 21.7k, right? And then we'll be looking to fill out this area here into this area consolidation. That's the area that I'm quite interested in about. Why am I interested in this area? Because that was the last high, right? Why am I interested in this? Well, this was the last high that sent the market down. So the last up candle that sent the market back down, and and we had a drastic drop, and we never saw a retest into this area breakdown. We never did see this kind of price action. It just filled out. It just came out one massive ass drop, and now we've got all this inefficiency to fill out. And price at the moment is filling out this inefficiency. See, from here to there, there's inefficiency which was filled out over here already. From this high, it's already filled it out. So that inefficiency is completed. The next inefficiency we have is from here to here. We got to fill this out. So looking at this, using the same principle, right? Marking out an SR, right? This is the low. That's acting as resistance. If we shoot above it, close above it, break above, off we go. Let's go. Target 1, target 2. At this area here, I'm expecting a reaction here. So the few things could happen from there. One, we either find a resistance, and it starts breaking down and it holds around the mid-range. And then if you want to start shorting it, and you retest, break down below here, this would be an opportunity to short. That's one thing, because you've got a bearish market structure, making lower lows on the lower time frame. And this is showing us to go back down to this area here, and then we play it back down to here, or if he wants to hold up and keep going back to the mid-range. We don't know, play level to level. That's one thing. Another thing, you can pull back, hold into this area, reclaim into this here, and range bound in this area. And once it reclaims, this is now showing us an opportunity for us to go higher. Where to? Well, obviously we're going to 75% of range, and then we're going to try and squeeze up to range high. We don't know how far the range high, but I'll definitely start seeing that this area here is going to be some resistance here around that higher. This area here, and then squeeze up to here. That's another opportunity there. Or crypto being crypto, right? We don't even know how it could actually react. It could just fucking decide to be like, you know what? Fuck off, bang, full support, and keep going up high. So which is really important. As you approach these areas, you watch. If you don't take profits, you don't take profits, right? What I'm saying is, like, for me personally, how I like to look at things is I like to watch how these levels work. Because if I'm working from high to low, high to mid, mid to low, mid to high, high to low. Mid to low. Am I saying that right? High to mid, mid to low, low to mid. That's it. Low to mid, mid to high. So we play it from these areas here. At the mid range, right? For me personally, I'll always take profits. It doesn't really matter. If I didn't take profits over here, I'm always watching this mid range. Mid range is always a reactionary area. It always have quite a strong reaction there. There's going to be something, unless it's super, super bullish, which just fucking blow off, right? So I always take some profits over here, and then from the rest of my position, I like to see what happens, because once we come up here, maybe take a bit more profits over there, and then see how we react. If we come back down, I'm going to see if we do something like this, then I cut the whole trade, and I'm ready to ride it back down. Ride it back down to here, back to here, for example. If we show bullishness and we do something like this, we reclaim and hold up a bit, I'm happy to enter in again with confirmation, add on my position, and keep going up higher. So that way, I've still got my original position from here, from like wherever I'm playing. Let's say if I entered in here, for example, I still got my original position to play back to range high. And all I gotta do is add on the rest of the position in, bring my stop loss below the box itself, around this low here, wherever the deviation is, and playing up to higher prices. That's another way we play it. So, which means that what I'm trying to say to you guys quite carefully is that take profits, number one. You have to take profits, because if this is a bear market rally, this is your last opportunity to get rid of all your bags. It's going to be your last position there. I do think this is like an exit liquidity scam pump. It's just trying to trick the market to say, yeah, we're bullish. I'm not going to be bullish until we do something like this. Like, I can't say that we're going to go up higher until we break out of this. I'm a level to level type of guy. Until we do something like this, hold the range high, shows bullish market structure, then we see the next area, it will be up here. We'll be into here, right here. Probably, I'd say it's here actually. There, 28k. 28k will be the next area. Then we see how we react off here. Do we hold down and break down, and then send this back down? We target level to level as a short there, and then do we hold back up to play back up? I don't know. Or do we actually come back down into this range? You gotta ask yourself, the fuck you doing back in the range? And this is all a deviation. We play back to level to level. That's it. That's all it is. Does that make sense for everyone? I'm trying to explain to you guys. It's super important. This could be your final chance to actually get rid of all your bags. If you're on any alts and you've been bag holding, I was talking to a brother of mine yesterday. We were talking to each other, and it's like, I've got some bags as well. And I'm like, yeah, man, we all have some freaking bags too as well. And I was like, this is going to be our last opportunity to actually get rid of. Either we actually get rid of our bags at like tiny profits, for example, or at no profits, or a loss, but less of a loss than what we actually are right now. Okay? Thank you, Justin. Appreciate that. But these are all plans there. You know what I'm saying? We have to. This is why I say to you guys, price is always in a range. And all I've done here is I show you this is a range. And I'm having the foresight, the hindsight in front of us before it even happens. Say, okay, if we get to here, to range high, what do we do? Am I going to say, yeah, let's go 60k? No, we're not going to go to 60k. We can't say we're going to go to 60k until we reclaim 28k. I'll explain to you why 28k in just a moment there. But we can't say we're going to go to 60k. Because every price, there's always a level. There's a range. Price is always in a range. Whether you're looking at the smaller time frame over here, whether you're looking at the higher time frame over here, whether you're looking at the macro time frame, that's above us in the up in the air, like between 28, I think it's 28k to 61k around that time. Whether you're looking within those range, it's always in a range, and I'm going to show you in just a second there. So these are the plans that we need to look for. So we could actually come back into mid range, right? Fill out this gap there, and then blast off here. And if we start having bearish market structure, I'm starting to look to exit all my positions, because this could be really bad. We got the elections coming up, midterm elections coming up in November. What date? Does anyone know what date it is? Yeah, gridlock in Washington markets will love it. Yeah. Yeah, we have to see what the midterms. Goonie, when's the midterm? I'm not entirely convinced that we go lower. Oh, you think we're gonna go higher? Is it Goonie? Interesting. Interesting. I like it when we've got someone else with a different point of view. Because I'm human in it. So what happens is, like, I may have an idea in my head. Doesn't mean I'm absolutely right. I don't claim myself to be like the best of the best. I've never said that. I think I'm good. I do think I'm good. But in that, the rest, I leave the rest with you. How good you think I am. But at the same time, like there are moments that like I make mistakes. If I make mistakes, I make mistakes, and I'm happy to say, yeah, I stopped out. I was wrong in this idea. That's it. Because November the 8th. Okay, interesting. So we've got 2 weeks then. 2 weeks. Could be 2 weeks pump. We don't know. Years ending in two tends to be low. That's true. Okay, well, let's see. But yeah, so if I'm quite happy that you say, like, if I miss out on the trade, I miss out on the trade. If I got on the trade, I got on the trade. If I was wrong on an idea, I was wrong on the idea. And I was like, this is the position I'm looking at, how we're looking at having plans in the foresight of what's going to happen next the next few years, right? So that's what I'm looking for in terms of what the key levels are. Looking at within 20k to 28k. That's it. In case we get up, in case we break up and show bullishness, I know these are the areas here. So if you guys want to print screen that, you can print screen that, and always remember that this is what Daink told you. Okay. Now in terms of the macro range I was talking about, let me try and find that chart. I think it's on this chart. The macro level here is this. This is the range I'm talking about. Price is always in a range. Okay. This was no other but a range band environment. Let me delete that. We don't need this stuff. Don't need this or this. Yeah. Okay, cool. You see here, what we got here? Got range low. That's the 2021's first quarter's range low, and this high here is range high, which is 2021's the first quarter. It's quarterly range. That's the first quarter range high, and you can see quite clearly price was in a range band environment. It was in a range band environment. You can see each of these levels are respected. Why didn't it come back to range low? Because it was the yearly open. It bounced off the yearly open, found support, and it shot up to the mid range. From the mid range, deviates it, gets back below it. Breaks market structure, off we go. If you want to see market structure being broken on the daily, here you go. Here's another market structure right there. Right here. So we know from there, that was the high. That was the high. That was the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Carving off, not a lower low. But then what happened is this high gets broken up. Once we broke up this high, you see that quick retest right here? That was it. I'm going to shoot up. So that's market structure being broken there. So I'm not saying to you that this market structure, right, that what we've seen right here is going to be the same as what we're going to do here. I'm not saying that. It was a different time here. The economy was very different around the world. Right now we have, like, governments are buying bonds back and stuff like that. It's a whole lot of mess right now at the moment. So years ending into yeah. The thing, Mr. M, you see, the thing is that's what the language we need to actually, like, I would like most of us, well, all of us, to actually get rid of is hope. We hope that this is going to be like that. We hope, because we have to remember, we may hope for something. It's like, when you were like, when I was like freaking I remember when I was 7 years old in it, right? Was it 7 years 2000 no, 1996. I was 5 years old. 97, yeah, 96, right? I remember this. My cousin had a PlayStation 1, right? He was a dickhead to me, right? He was 4 years older than me, right? Story time, motherfuckers. Let me grab a cigarette. I got a cousin of mine, right? He was 4 years older than me, and his family was very, very wealthy. Alhamdulillah, very wealthy family. They had a number of nursing homes as well, and they were boarded. Now, obviously, I was 5, he was 9 years old, right? And like as a lot of parents do, when you have money, you give your kids gifts, a lot of gifts, and you buy them expensive stuff because it doesn't really. No, it's not. He's 4 years older than me. That should tell you he's not. It's not. It's a different dickhead. No, I'm not calling him a dickhead, but like I call everyone dickheads. But like it's I'm not gonna name names, right? But he was 4 years older than me. He lived in Birmingham, right? Lived literally, and I was going to his house all the time. So he was 4 years old, 4 years older than me, and I remember there was like a family gathering at his place, and he was telling me, and we all heard about the PlayStation 1, and he was telling me about, like, yeah, he got the PS1. I thought he was lying. I was like, nah, there's no way he got the PS1. You know how you are when your kids are like, nah, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying, swear on your mom's life, this kind of stuff, right? And he was telling me, like, I'll show you, I'll show you, I'll show you. So cool. So at the end of the gathering, right, he didn't show me to, like, the whole time. We stayed at the very end. I begged my mom and dad to stay. Yeah, PS1. You remember that PlayStation 1 with the grey little case and stuff like that? And the disc comes up, like the flap comes up, you put the disc in and it spins around, and oh, it was amazing. You see the little laser in the corner. Good times, man. Crash Bandicoot was my first game. Shout out to Crash Bandicoot. So he showed it to me, right? And he let me play it that day, right? So when he let me play in the evening, like he had a stack of games. I can't remember what games it was, but I know he had about Tekken. I played Tekken 2 first, fam. Tekken 2, I remember I bought that at Woolworths. I don't know if you guys remember Woolworths in the UK. I don't know if you had it in America. And I bought that, like, my dad bought that for 20 quid, man. Back in the day, it was expensive at the time. It's all about Kazuya, man. It's all about Kazuya. In my opinion, I'm a big Kazuya fan. If you guys have Tekken, Tekken 7, and the PlayStation, hit me up. Send me a DM with your PSN. Let's do something about that as well. So the story is this, like, he let me play, and dickhead, right? Let me play the demo. I was like, but you know, is when you're a kid, you're 5 years old, innit? Bro, you're a cheater, fam, man. Eddie Gordo. You're a proper fucking cheater. Just smashing X and circle. That's what you're doing, fam. So the geezer let me play the demo, right? I remember this really well. And the first game I played was Crash Bandicoot. So when we put the demo in, right, PS sign comes up with the black and white writing and stuff like that. You know, and then, like, the first game, because it was a demo, you got all this demo that runs across. Don't you remember it? The first one was Crash Bandicoot, and I just pressed X, fam. You said Woolworths in Australia, fam. What happened to it? You got busted over here. Capieras, yeah. We all wanted to learn how to fight like Eddie Gordo, didn't we? Everyone wanted to fight like Eddie Gordo. Everybody, bro. We would start dancing around like this and shit. I remember that. Yeah. Burlington Coat Factory. Yeah, bro, man, I think we've got a lot of elders in here, man, like in my age group over here. So we're going back to the reminiscing time, man, the good old days of Blockbusters and renting out a game and shit for the weekend. Because you were good with your parents, because you were good at school. And your dad didn't want to actually, bother with, didn't want to get a headache from you throughout the weekend, innit? So just rent a fucking game, just keep it quiet for a bit. Or rent a movie, man. Good old time Blockbusters, though. Tony Hawk Skater. Oh, I remember I had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 on the PS2, fam. That was sick. You know, when you hack the game, it was the maddest thing ever. It was the maddest thing ever, because you can hack the game, right? There's a cheat that you apply the cheat in the very beginning of the screen, and then you can actually do these ollies and all these tricks that last unlimited. Oh, sick they were. Good old days, man. Dude, does anyone remember 8 Odyssey? For the youngsters, I think I lost the youngsters here at the moment. The 20s, the 20s and below. I think I lost them completely now. Below 25, I think I've lost you. I'm sorry, guys. You've completely lost it. Like, you lost what's going on here. There was one of my favorite racing games was Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer was sick, fam. That was a fucking game and a half. Anyway, so yeah, so I remember the good story time. What was I saying? Story time. Ape Odyssey, that's it. Apes Odyssey, that's it. It was a weird game, though. I tell you something, it was used to scare the shit out of me. Microwave is with me as well. We got Mr. M knows what I'm the Sega Dream. And you know what? I had a cousin of mine who had the Dreamcast. He was a really cool cousin of mine. He was actually, funnily enough, he became my dealer as well. When I said dealer, he used to, like, give me for free as well. Well, I was like 18, 19 years old as well. So. Heck yeah, what about Cool Borders? Dude, Gandalf, do you remember Cool Borders? Oh, that was a game and a half, fam. What else did we had as well? What other game? I had Tomb Raider, fam. You're 36 and a hardcore player, sir. Mr. M, you need to drop me your PSN. You need to drop me your I hope you have PSN. I don't have Xbox. Drop your PSN. If you want to drop it on the chat, drop it here. We can all share it as well. I'm going to print screen this as well. Yeah, yo, Piotr, we are just we were raving about fucking old times, man. But it was a good time though on the PlayStation, man. What else games there were there? Tomb Raider was a good game. I remember Tomb Raider with the dinosaurs and shit, man. The thing of the Sega Mega Drive when we played the Sonic as well. Those days, man. My next door neighbor had a Sega Mega Drive as well, so I used to go over to his in the summer, and we used to bang it out, man. His name was Sonny. I wonder how he is doing as well. I heard he got married. I haven't seen him for a long, long time. I was about like 15 years, fam. PC Master Race, bro. You know what? Yeah, it's true, man. Games were better back then than it is now. I mean, don't get me wrong. Games right now are very, very cool. They're very interesting graphics-wise and whatever. But because it was such simple times, I don't know if we were young and it was so cool, and it was a completely new experience. The PlayStation 1, to me, is the GOAT of all GOAT. Of all games, it's the GOAT. Like, to me, I mean, yes, people's gonna argue with PC. PC fans do not be offended by that. I'm not much of a PC guy myself. I did play Age of Empire. I did Age of Empire. If you guys don't know, Age of Empire was an amazing game. Age of Mythology. These are, I think, role-playing games as well. Bro, I was a hardcore gamer back then as well when I think about it. Yeah, Tomb Raider was top-notch, man. Sick. Age of Empire. Goonie knows Age of Empires. Bro, that was a sick game, fam. Yeah, fam. Bro, who do you thought I was, man? You thought I was some dickhead. You guys thought I was just trying shit for fun. Command. I never played that. What was that? The role-playing game? The first-person shooter game? Oh, it was a classic game as well. It's basically like Call of Duty, basically off that. Gran Turismo, fam. You are fucking taking me back a long time ago, man. Fucking hell, man. Gran Turismo. Quake. Oh, guys, I think we're gonna lose the fucking chat here now because we're just talking about so much games here. Halo, Call of Duty. Oh, dude. Counter-Strike. That's it. Counter-Strike was a sick game, fam. I never played the Spear of Destiny. Doom was good as well. Doom was really good. Age of Mythology. Age of Mythology was sick, though. It was a sick-ass motherfucking game. I clocked that like 5 times, fam. It was that good. I played it so many times. Counter-Strike, yeah, lobbies in school. Fuck it up, fam. We're going back in all times, man. You're bringing me back into the early 2000s, man. Jesus Christ, man. Before crypto was born, this we're talking about. Guys who are in your 20s, right? We're talking about stuff before crypto was born. I never played Kronos, actually. I never played that. Juke was good as well. Juke Nukem. Oh, fucking hell, guys, man. You know what? We're going to be best friends for the rest of our life. Ridge Racer. Yeah. Let's go, fam. And on the when I got the PS Plus, not PS Plus, the PlayStation, the handheld PSP, PlayStation Portable. The first game I chose was the Ridge Racer game. Had to as well because it was such a good game. Age of Empires. Alex knows what the deal is. I never played Warcraft or Dota. I never. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh my fucking days, fam. Fucking hell, this is probably one of the best streams I've ever had. I'm having a great time, actually. We're going back, reminiscing, and I was talking about a fucking story about some dickhead who actually let me play some demo in it. there was a reasoning behind that, actually. There was a reason behind that story. Crash Bandicoot, yeah, bro. Mario Kart, fam. Do you remember on the Nintendo 64, fam? I think the Smash Brothers, SimCity 2000. Fucking hell, you guys are bringing me back in the old times, man. You're making me want to buy these games again, Go on, get a Steam account and just roll this up. You're making me want to do this. Fucking hell, man. Bitcoin's going to 20.5k. That's alright. Well, okay, we can talk about games again a little bit more. Oh, you played it on the Wii. The Wii was good as well, man. Golden Eye on the 64, fam. Justin is going mad, fam. Coop knows what the deal is, man. That was the hardest game on the N64. The N64 was probably the second best. In my opinion, I think it's PlayStation 1, then N64. I think that's the top two. Then to me, I'll have to go PS2. The PS2 revolutionized a lot. It definitely revolutionized a lot. Did the nuclear drill? Did he? Did he? Are you serious? A nuclear drill? That's not fucking good. I hope you're not messing about. Putin. Nuclear. So. Preparing a nuclear strike. Oh, this is gonna be nice. This is gonna be nice. I don't know if this is gonna happen. Anyway, let's not ruin the fucking vibe, fam. You fucking check DCC, fam. Let's have a look. Let me bring this up there. on the lounge. 1 second. To the present. I got a. Oh, this the news, guys. This interesting. Okay, thank you for that. Kind of kill the vibe a little bit, bruv. Yuri kind of killed the vibe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Daink Country Club as well. But well, we'll check this out in just a second. We'll check this out in a second. What we got here? Hitman. Hitman. You know what? I never got into that game. You know, I never really got into it. Max Payne on PS2, fam. The first game I had on the PS2 was the Tekken Tag Tournament. Tekken Tag Tournament was the baddest of all game. Breaking, the UK voted for Bitcoin and crypto to become official financial instruments. So the interesting point about that, which we were discussing in the group itself, it's gone from it's so okay. So let me, I must have had this. Give me a second there. One second there. Yeah, so it's starting to roll off, right? So what it is it's gone. It started off with the lower parliament at the moment, so that's where they're starting off there. But there's several steps before it even gets to become officially officially become a financial instrument as well. So what's happened is it's gone from the lower parliament at the moment, which they voted for it as well. Now what happens? What the stages of it is from the lower parliament, it goes through to the next of House of Lords. After the House of Lords, after it gets voted and gets passed on, it goes to the upper parliament. After the upper parliament, so you got lower parliament, House of Lords, then you got upper parliament. After that upper parliament, after that gets voted on, it then gets passed to King George. Once it gets passed to King George, there's 4 steps here. He will decide, and he will consider whether it is gonna be a financial instrument or not, and he will sign it off. And once we get those four things go through, and then it will become an official thing across the UK. So it's not a fact. It's not 100% fact. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time because it has several steps to go through. So we were discussing that in the chat yesterday as well, about it's starting the process there, but at any moment it can change around. We don't know. We'll see how this works out, but we do know Rishi is very pro what you call it pro crypto. He's very pro crypto. I don't want to go into the whole politics. I think politics and religion and you know, it creates a division, and but in terms of beliefs, you know, like if I'm like, let's say for example, if I'm a Labour or Conservative, it will divide other people, and you guys will think very differently of me. If for those who are Republicans and Democrats, X, Y, and Z. So let's not really go into it. But the gist of it, of Rishi, who's, it's not him who's got the money really. It's his wife who's actually the king really. It's his wife who's actually who's a baller here. But he's very pro crypto. We do know that. But the thing is, he's going to try and push it into the CBDC. And if CBDC happens, regulation happens with crypto, it becomes fucked. And I don't think we're going to see these 100x moves that we've seen recently. It's going to be quite a very slow move there. So we're going to see it move like stocks. That's what we're going to see. Bitcoin and crypto is going to happen. I mean, the protective feature on that is that the fact that we won't get rug pulls. You know, that's the good idea behind as well. We don't want to see people get rugged out, because we've seen how it goes with crypto. You can become a millionaire, or you can just become broke. There's the two ways around it. You know, so so we'll see. We've got time. For it to actually get passed on before it becomes an official instrument. If it does go through, I do think it will happen around 2025, 2026-ish, around that time, at the end of the bull market. And it would make sense from a fundamental point of view, and also as a technical point of view as well, because that would be like the top, approximately. I'm just giving an idea there. We should never talk about politics, religion, and football. Football, you know what? I don't know. Football is but yeah, like for example, like I'm a United fan, and I'm like in the UK. Like outside of the UK, my second team is some of you might know, Bayern Munich. I'm a huge Bayern Munich fan, and we can have a dispute and whatever. I don't want to hurt people's feelings because they follow a team that's that's shit. Like for example, Liverpool. So any poor Liverpool fans are not gonna like me at all. I'm joking. I'm messing. I said that because I found a country club. But yeah. So let's go. Yeah, story time. Back to story time. We completely lost track there. Story time. So I played the Crash Bandicoot game and whatever, and I loved the PS1. So what happened was I went back home, fam. Sorry, I know Andy's in the chat too as well. Sorry, dude. I'm messing. But yeah, so so I went back home that day, and I remember that I was telling my mom and dad, oh, I want to get a PlayStation. I want to get a PlayStation. Like, can we get a PS1? And like, we come from a very poor family, like, so we struggled a lot. So I do remember seeing my parents struggle. I do remember having really hard times. I remember the moments where like there were days that there were nights where we actually had tea and toast for dinner. We did have that as well. I do remember that. I was young, 5, 6 years old, and I still remember those things. And so I wouldn't really ask my parents. I wouldn't beg them so much per se. I was a good child in that aspect. I was a bad kid. I would always get into trouble at school and whatnot. I always hit my brother, beat my brother up, and go to family's place and have a play fight and get a bit too rough. I was that kind of kid, but at the same time, I was like I was respectful to my parents, understanding of the financial situation. So what I used to do every day, every single day. I don't know if you guys remember Argus, right? Argus is still here in the UK, but it's not in the shop no more. It's more online actually. There's some shops there. We had this Argus catalog, right? Massive thick ass catalog. The back of the page, I still remember 1132, page 1132. I'll never forget that. 1132. When you open that up, right, on the left hand side you had PlayStation 1, right? The whole thing, I still remember this really well with the whole thing, and it was £200, 199.99. I still remember this really, really well with PlayStation. There was no packages, the controllers and whatever. It was all on the left hand side. On the right hand side, you had the games that was available, right? And in those days, games were £20, which was now it's cheap compared to fucking 60 quid. Fucking hell. I was looking at Call of Duty the other day. It's like 60 quid. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And that's just a basic model. And I was like, yo, like, we've really lost the concept of money lately. But anyway, I mean, I don't buy much games anyway because they're too fucking expensive, man. Fuck that. And I don't really play games so much. But, so, what happened was, I used to watch that for like 2 years straight. 2 years every day. Like I asked my parents a few times, and I used to think maybe for my birthday. And, and then all of a sudden, one fateful Christmas, Christmas Eve, right? We went to game. I will never forget that game in the bull ring. The bull ring back in the day, it's not the bull ring now. For those who actually been in the bull ring, used to be a tower. It was a block of towers, and they had shops like going across and whatnot. The market was there. It smelled like piss, man, bro. Bull ring back then was like a nasty place, man. It smelled like piss back then. But I still remember that, like when market's enough for a game. It is definitely is enough of a game. 100%. That's my game right there. And I remember like we went past game, and every time we go to like game, right? I'll always ask my dad, can we go in? Like me and my brother would go in and we'll just go look at the PlayStation. And, you get to play, like, because there's a TV screen there, and you got that big plastic, like rigid plastic that you can't jank the controller. You got two controllers there. So me and my little brother used to play there. We used to play for like 10 minutes, right? Like 5-10 minutes. My dad would let us do that. And then let's say, all right, time to go. That one fateful, I still remember this, it was Christmas Eve, 1998. And I remember this really, really well. And my pops go to me, which game do you like? I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's like straight there, like completely stunned. He never asked me that. He never ever asked me like, what game would you like? Or why is the PlayStation was good? He never asked me that. Just like, which game would you like? And he literally got us. And we did. I froze. I had no idea what to say. So my dad goes, you know what? I want to buy this game called Soul Blader. It was the original Soul Calibur. I had the original Soul Calibur on the PlayStation 1. Yeah, you can't play in the shop now. That's true. That's true. They ruined the whole thing, man. The whole experience. That was the experience that was as well. I mean, like even recently, a couple of years ago, you were still able to play. And I remember like dad, my pops in it. He bought the PlayStation 1, bought a spare controller, and bought the what do you call it? Soul Calibur, Soul Blader. That was called. It was called Soul. Was it Soul Blade or Soul Blade? Lee Long was the fucking thingy. It's Soul Blade, isn't it? I think it's called Soul Blade. So yeah, Soul Blade was the original. Soul Edge was the. No, Soul Blade Images. That's the. Oh man, this is it. That's the box I remember. That's the box I remember. this one itself here. And I remember that was the thingy. That was the uh Lee Long. Remember Lee Long? I just said Lee Long. Yeah, fucking hell, bring back the old days as well. And that was the first game we had. And what it was a massive surprise. And it was a massive surprise. And when you get surprised, it catches you by surprise. And just the excitement and the love and the passion, everything just flies up through the roof. And that's what Bitcoin did back then. That's what I'm trying to relate it back to Bitcoin. So bring back these memories of your good memories where you got caught by surprise by your parents or by your loved one. Maybe it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend actually bought you something nice. And you wanted something nice. I don't know. And that excitement, that feeling, that's what caught us by surprise. And that's what's exactly how this happened over here. So, and you see how we had no pullbacks. The only pullback we had once we broke out of this range here, with a deeper pullback, and then we smashed above it, still show us a bullish market structure, come back up down there. So that's exactly what could potentially happen, but which is talking back to the range. So once that was it, I was talking about fucking ranges, fam. Fucking hell, man. I went off on PlayStations and stuff like that, and I just freaking lost the whole idea. So for me, I won't start looking at bullish momentum into 62k, right? I won't look at 62k anytime soon until we get the 28k and hold above it. Once we hold above it, then we can start looking at 36k, then 44k. From 44k, reclaim yearly open, then we look at 53k, 54k, and then 62k. That's the range. This was all a range. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. This whole thing was a range. Right now, we are nowhere near that range. We've got our own goddamn range to worry about. You know what I'm saying? See? This is the range over here. Let me just draw this out. That's the range high. That's range low. This is the mid range. That's the range we're playing at. And here's the other goddamn range we're looking at. Let me just try and hide this. The range over here that's range high, and I think this is range low right there. Can you see? We are playing in this range over here, this minute range. Let me change the color so it makes it a bit more appealing to the eyes itself. We're playing within this range over here. While we're playing around in this range here, I'm not bothered about this range here yet. Because what we could do is do something like this, come back up, come back down, and play within this range bound environment and keep playing in this range bound environment. We don't know. We could, once we start breaking down, then we start looking for 10 to like 12, 13, 10k, whatever. We don't know exactly. We could come up to here in this area here, the mid range, and then play back down and then break down here. Or we could do this, break down and then range bound in this area. We don't fucking know. We could, if we were to go to range high, the next point we're looking for is how we react. Do we hold above it, come into this area, the next target would be here, come into this low here. This is a low, this is a range bound environment up here. This is all the consolidation. This is the last consolidation over here that sent the market back down, which made new lows for the year. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things we're to worry about. We found resistance and come back down, and that was just a deviation of this range because we found resistance of this macro range. There's so many things we're to focus. But if we come back up and hold above it and then show bullishness, then yes, let's look up for higher prices. Let's do that. But until then, to me, I'm not too convinced that it's gonna be up higher. Because just look at here. I'm not zooming in on nothing. But look how this, you see this, see how this pump is compared to these pumps over here? It doesn't look as massive as these over here. Even if I were to measure these, it doesn't look as massive as these pump over here. They were so small. What we've done, we just pumped like $1,000, $2,000. These are, in those days, in these massive bullish markets, they were pumping like $1,000 in fucking minutes. You know what I'm saying? So we just can't look at looking at 60k. I know I've seen on Twitter that there are people talking about 60k, and I've seen some of these these movements in there. And yes, it's very, very appealing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, what they're looking at is this high, and we're broken out of this. That's what they're looking at. But you see this sideways consolidation right here. Oops. This over here. Bring my pen back up. You see how we got this sideways consolidation over here? That's not good for me. If it was supposed to be bullish, right? If we were supposed to go up higher, we should have seen a strong breakout right over here, around here. Instead of having all this consolidation over here, we should have seen a strong breakout there, maybe a quick retest, and then keep going up higher. We should have seen that. We shouldn't be consolidating this area, which means to me that it doesn't look good. In my opinion, I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't look good. So, which is why I'll still play it level to level. You know what I'm saying? We play it level to level until it's proven otherwise. Once it shows us otherwise, it shows us otherwise. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So that's Bitcoin done. Let's squeeze in Ethereum. I did promise you guys some alts. You know, we've gone over an hour and 24 minutes. Shit. Fuck you know. I'm gonna try and squeeze through this quite quickly as possible now. Because we are running out of time here. So what's getting capped here? This is the interesting thing, right? So Ethereum is the one that runs the whole thing, in my opinion. That runs the alt move, okay? So what's happened there? What I've got there? It's a few things. Let's try and speed this out. God damn it. Got so comfortable talking with freaking speaking about about PlayStation completely went sidetracked and I had no control myself. Sorry about that, guys. Apologies for that. Yeah, Tesla, Gandalf, I won't. Alright, have a quick cig and just blast through this shit. Okay? Apologies, you know, if I reminisced a bit too much there. Because I need to get back to the country club as well, you know. So, right. We've got a few things here. Number one, we've got a range band environment there. What we've got a range over here? We've got June's range. Same thing as always, right? July's range. This is the high, and this is the low over here. Okay. So right now, I'm gonna highlight this. Right? What I'm gonna do is remove everything off, and I'm just gonna highlight these areas that we're gonna focus on. I'm gonna focus on from here. That's the mid range, 75% range, and the range high. Why am I focusing between this, around these highs and not here? Because price is not below the mid range. Price is actually smashed above the range high. So we have to start talking about these areas. Let me zoom into this. So we know this is that. So let's just zoom into the 1 hour. So we know we've got this here. 2 hours. Get a more thicker candle so we can actually see what's going on over here. So that's what we're going to be focused on these areas here. So black. No. Yeah. Fuck off. Range high. Mid range. 75% range. I'm going to work this level to level. I'm going to follow Ethereum as it goes, okay? Then what we've got here, I'm just going to highlight this range band environment, which we've been playing for such a long time. And then again, same thing as Bitcoin, I can't be upset that Ethereum was pumped up and I didn't catch the top. I didn't catch this. I can't be upset. I really can't. I'd be an idiot if I actually say, oh no, there's always a trade. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that, man. Big love to you, man. There's always a trade. So you just got to find where the trade is, right? So what have I focused on? Number one, right? We're focusing between range high to mid range. The reason why is because we've come back up with a clean smash above the mid range, right? And all this here, this consolidation underneath this mid range here, was a deviation of the mid range. So now it's looking bullish to where to? At least we know from a target of 25% from a range band perspective, 75% range, and then range high. That's what we're looking for, okay? So how do we get on board if we haven't got on board, right? So number one, I had this marked out. So what was it? If I were to do a Fibonacci of the week itself, the low of the week was this low to this high itself, okay? Does it tell me anything? No, not so much. Maybe we can have a bit more pullback. We don't know exactly if it's going to be. I mean, ideally, I want to see somewhere around the mid range to hold a support. Let's see. Yesterday, how was yesterday? No, what was yesterday's? From here, no. Okay, so it doesn't tell me much. It's extremely bullish. We know it's popped up quite strongly. Anyway, so never mind. So same thing as this. I'm just going to zoom into this area here. We know I'm going to highlight some areas here. So what I'm going to highlight first is an area consolidation right here. You've got, so you can see how price was reacting off here, right? So price, see these highs over there? This area consolidation. This block over here. This is where price was reacting and it's found support off this low here. So there's no problem. It's come up, broke up. We took out yesterday's high, no problem there. Now what's happening now? So we want to get on board and try and ride it up back up to the top there. So we're looking for this, looking for the 75% range and the range high. That's what we're looking for. There's inefficiency here. Inefficiency at the moment, have they been all filled out? Because we know we've got inefficiency right here. Hasn't been filled out just yet. We've still got a little bit more of a gap left. So we're going to come to some point of profit taking area soon, very soon before we hit 75%. So that's what we're looking at. So now we need to focus on this area here and how do we get on board. So if I drop it down to the 15 minutes, let's see what the time is saying. market structure saying? I'm gonna focus on these areas. Fucking bullish as hell though, man. Really, really strong as hell. Beautiful though, I gotta say. Very, very beautiful. For those who caught the Ethereum, and I was watching the guys yesterday, who were taking longs. You know, like the guys were taking longs on you know, scalping, the breakout as well, and it was beautiful to watch as well. You know, shout out to Pirate as well. What does the Fibonacci shows from range low to range high? What? You mean do a Fibonacci from which range low are you talking about? Like from this range low here to the new high right here? Is that what you're talking about? I wouldn't do a Fibonacci there. I mean, like I would split this into quadrants, to be honest, right? Because look, if I were to split this into quadrants, right, focusing between here, from here to here, look what's happening here. You can see that mid-range is called support. So already we know this level is going to be quite of importance right there. We know we got capped at the 75% range, and this is look, you can't make this up. You just can't make this up. So if I want to play a level-to-level play on a scalping play, this is how I look at it. I wouldn't use range low to range high, because a range low, the reason why. Okay, let me show you quickly. The reason why I wouldn't you can use this. Let me do that. So let me just do this for example. This high here. Let's just put it here. That's the high there, approximately, and this is the range. I mean, if I use this range low here, it doesn't show me anything. You can see how that mid range doesn't show me any respect over here, over there. We found a bit of consolidation there, but I think that's just kind of forcing it out there in a way. I mean, if I use this low to this high over there, it's still kind of forcing it out there. So I would try and narrow it down, you know. It doesn't tell me too much in my opinion. So me personally, I'll be focusing between the quadrants. The quadrants I'm looking at, it's between this high here. So this, between these areas, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these quadrants there. How do we scalp this level to level basis, and how do we work this out? You can clearly see quite carefully. ABT got wrecked. Did it? I know you pumped, but that's there. We're just gonna focus on these quadrants here. How can we play it on board? Let's bring these levels there. And this is what we're doing. We're just splitting it up into working out these areas there. So you can see this is the mid range, and that's 75% range. And all I've done is I put a Fibonacci to split these into quadrants there, and you can see we found resistance at range low, at this range low. It popped up, didn't retest it, went smashed through, found resistance at mid range, a deviation of the mid range, came back down to 25% range, popped up to mid range, or support there. So you see this market structure right here. See this low, this low. Let me just change the color. See this low here in particular. This low has a stop run. Once it's found a stop run, this was the high. Market structure continues bullishness, and that's it. There's your range bound environment. There's a deviation, deeper pullback, comes back up, smashes it, makes a new high from this here. Take out these highs there, and we're coming back down. We're pulling back down over here. So now already I can say that I know we got a range bound environment. Let me just delete some of this stuff. I know we got a range bound environment. Where's the range bound environment? So we got this high here, and we just kissed it off there, and this low here. That's where the price was ranging for a little while there. We broke up, we come back as a retest. You can enter in, like again, you can enter in now within validation here, or you can keep it tight below here, because this is the deviation of the mid range before we popped up to make new highs. Okay, and then what we're playing for, we're playing it back up to 75% range, and then once we go up, keep going bullish market structure to range high, right, which is actually $1,600, and that's how we play it level to level, looking at smaller time frames, and like it's like a quick, easy little scalp there. That's the way. I mean, if price decides to give me a bit of a pullback, right, because there's news apparently of a nuclear war going on, a nuclear testing going on, so it's not so good. But like I said, you have your based on invalidation, you're wrong over here. That's where you're wrong here, because if price comes back down here, right, and finds resistance and gets below the mid range, you have to start looking at cutting it, because we're coming out to take out these lows over there. So that's one thing. So that's the bullish play we can look for. If you want confirmation to play a scalp to this here, and what will give you more confirmation is once we break up, hold into this, then play it back up for a quick scalp, and you know your stop loss will be here. And you're trailing your stops as you go up. So you're keeping this eye level to level. Once we reclaim this level here, then we go up to the what's the level is to range high. And again, I can bring this up. Let me just try. Where's this? I can bring this up to split this up there, and we can work this out level to level. So once we have all these levels, so once we, it's showing us continuation. It doesn't give us a breakdown. It comes back up and steps back up. But then we start looking at how do we play this up, level to level play. The reaction is going to be at the mid range, so we're going to play it to target 1 and to target 2. Around the 1700 area, which is 1695, that's going to be a reactionary area on the 15 minutes. I expect a bit of a pullback. We might pull back down here, reclaim, hold above it. Similar price action to how we done here. As long as we continue with the bullishness, then we get to range high, and that's it. And that's the range high done for July's range. What happens next? We don't know. We'll find out. This could do it in one day. It could do it today. We don't know. Or we could do it tomorrow. But keep an eye on this as we go along. But once we break out of it, the question is after on the, let's go on the 2 hours, right? It's once we get up there, because we know market structure, that's the high, the lower low, lower high, lower low. This could be if you get lower high over here, we could come to this area of consolidation right there. So you see that, oops, delete. I'll be very cautious of watching how watch how ES is doing it, watch what Bitcoin is doing at the same time. Be very cautious around here, because we could come up there and don't even go up to range high. Look at taking some profits there. If we start breaking down, then what's going to happen when we come back down to 25%, and it could all just be a range bound environment. We don't know. If we were to break out, let it break out. Then we start looking for the next set of highs. Then we start looking to this area here, squeeze into here, see what happens next. But we play it level to level with Ethereum. As Ethereum is going up, happy days, we'll play the move up, and then from there we don't know. We just don't know. Does it, interesting enough, right? 1700 marker, right? This we could reject off the 1700 marker. The reason why, the battery died on me. Fucking hell, it's been so long. I've been on the stream for too long. Give me a second, guys. There we go. I'm back. Cool. So I'm looking at this area to be a resistance. So you know how we got June's low. Let me mark out July's low to July's high. That's what I'm gonna mark out, and I'm gonna show you something. Okay. So I'm just gonna remove this for a second. I'll bring this back up in just a moment there. Okay. So July's range, July's low is here, right? And July's high, yeah, that's July's high. That's July's high. Okay. Now I'm very cautious around the 1700 marker. The reason why I'm cautious around the 1700 marker is that was the 2021's second quarter's range low, and it's a macro range. I'm going to show you that in just a second there. Okay. So price could come back up, come into the 1700, and if this was going to be bearish, we can find resistance off here. If we start finding resistance and break down, it comes off this area of consolidation. That was the last consolidation up on the top side. We send it back down below the mid-range, and then this could be the lower low, and this could be the leg down. I don't know entirely. We're gonna have to work this out level to level, and this is what I think like day trading as well is really important as well. You could be macro, because how many people are macro trading this right, saying when it got to 2k, 3k, 4k. I don't know. There's gonna be people who's gonna think like that. Do not get suckered into the idea that this is a bull market. It's not. To me, it looks like it's a bear market rally. Until proven otherwise, it's just a bear market rally. I'm going to have to go with that idea to actually take out profits when necessary. So guys, pay attention to this. Mark this out as well. I think it's really important that if you guys mark this out, you can actually watch this on your own chart. We're going to talk about it in a second, but I know it's been a long time since I last done a stream like this long. Nah, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for giving me your time. You guys are giving me your time. You guys are the one that's given me... that's put me into this platform, so I want to give a shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much for that from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate that. we're gonna make it, inshallah. But you know, in the future, as price unfolds in the bull market for the next bull market, we're gonna get ready for it as well. So there's you can do whatever you want to do in terms of studying. You can study fundamentals, study technical analysis. I've not seen anyone who can clock both. I don't see like there's two types of traders really, right? In like, well, I believe that I don't think I've seen both being clocked, because a technical analysis, someone who's technical analysis, right, can do, you know, day trades, scalps, and swing trades. They understand those kind of ideas. A fundamentalist is very heavily on the news and understanding how what the project is about, the tokenomics and all that kind of stuff, right? They understand that kind of stuff, and I'm not that type of guy, right? I'll be honest with you, I've never been that type of guy. But if like during now to the next run, next Bitcoin halving, it's really important that if you guys can actually focus and try and master both of them, by all means do it, man. You know, there's loads of guys out there who's great at fundamentals. I'm not the guy for fundamentals, but if you want technical analysis in terms of helps, I can definitely give you, my insight, and which is what I'm doing all the time. Is this the beginning of the bull market? Nah, I think this is the beginning of the bear market rally. It's a bear market rally to me, but I'm quite keen about this area here, because if we reject off this block and we find resistance off this 2021 second quarter's range low and break down, I think this is over. Then I really think this is over, especially once we get back below the mid range. That's it, game over. So this will give you opportunity to just start selling your alts if you any alts. But we start looking at the price. I mean, I could be wrong. Because if we come back up, and find support of here, happy days and so bullishness, no problem. We play this up on the upside. But the reason why I'm focused about this 1700 area is quite important for me. Why? Let me show it to you. Let me delete this. I want to cast you back to a long time ago when we had the bull market. Everyone remembers this bull market here. Right? Everyone remembers the rally that from here, from $200, $100, all the way up to 4K, went up to 4,800, nearly hit 5K. Didn't hit 5K, but we slammed back down. Okay, and that was it. That was a bull market. But this is a range. This is a range that we played in. Right? This is the second quarter's range high. This is the second quarter's range low in 2021, and this is a mid range. And you can see how price respects that range band environment. It's a range band environment. So look, yes, this is carving off. That's a low. That's the a higher low, and then now it would be a higher high, and that's the higher low. Just focusing on this area here. So if we come up and take out these highs here, hold above it, then no problem. We can definitely play this. But it's definitely showing me some sort of it's definitely showing that this low over here is all grinding off there, and it's made a higher low. I'm not fully convinced yet. This is back in fucking September. Delete that shit. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced that this is going to be a bull market. I don't think so just yet. Where will I be comfortable is that if we start coming back up, right, reclaim this level here, holds this area here, shows bullishness, takes out these highs there. Now, instead this is the high, the lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So what we've done, we've taken out this high there. That's the breaking market structure that we're focusing on, this area here. And then we can start playing it up to higher prices, up to the mid-range, whatever, yearly open, just like Bitcoin. But I don't know. I don't think this is it. I don't think we're going to go up higher. If we do, we play level to level. And this is why I'm focusing on the areas of July's range. And once we break out of July's range and step into this range, then we start playing it level to level, seeing how the price works. No problem. Because price can still come up to here, right, and still come back down to the mid-range. It can. I'm just showing you. 3K. It can still come to the mid-range and still come back down. You know what I'm saying? And then all it is, that's the high, the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It could do that. It could well do that. So, watch how ES is doing. ES is at the mid range of the 2021's range, mid range, and we're at the range low 2021 at 1700 area. And then we see ES breaking down, and dollars start to push up, and we see BTC breaking down, and also seeing the same thing as Ethereum breaking down. Start getting rid of your alts. The bags that you had, that was your opportunity to start getting rid of. So keep an eye on that. You know what I'm saying? Do you suggest anyone in particular in fundamentals? There's a number of guys, on fundamentals. What else do we have? Like fundamentals who are really good. Like TradeXO is really, really good at his fundamentals, especially with global macro. There's Macrodesiac as well. Macrodesiac. I can't think of guys on top of my head. I'm sure I can bring a list of names as well. But they're really, really good on fundamentals. Really, really good at fundamentals there. Understanding how the market works, especially global markets as well. I think understanding global markets makes a big impact as well, because crypto is tagged with ES. We have to agree with that. We can't say that it's not, because if you start saying that it's not, then you're fooling yourself in a way, right? Anyway, so let's do some alts. So we'll do alts. Try and get in some alts quickly. ETH, Aave, USDT. Then we'll look at goodies. Now let's have a look what's going on. Yeah. This is Jude. So we've got Jude's range. Slow, we're still in Jude's range. Okay, cool. New top down. 12 months. Alright, so this is interesting then. So we've taken out last year's low, right? And we're coming into it as support, as you can see. So the key is, we just want to see it to reclaim this area here and hold above it. So that's the key point. So last year's low, let's just write this down. Let's make a trend line right here, hold it there, and then make that as pink, so I know what my colors are, and that's 2021's low coordinates text. So yep, we'll come back above it. We're not finding resistance, so it's all good. Happy days. As you can see right now, yeah, so bullish for the month, so for the quarter so far. We had a bullish quarter, a quick spike up and whatnot. We did find resistance off the 2021's low, but then now at the moment we are just above it. So now we need to start looking, start nailing it down on the weekly and daily, see how we're going to react on it. Monthlies here. Like this is where it's interesting for me. The month price, I mean, you could actually, I'd stick with this range here, this range here. Why I'm saying this range here? I mean, you can still use this range. August, July. Why am I using June range? Have a look. Let me delete this for a second. I just need to have a quick look. I think I was looking at it before previously. Nah, yeah, I'll go with this range. That's right. This makes sense. So the low comes into what? 54.7. 7. Let's have a look. Let's go on the weekly. Nice. Weekly did a nice pullback. So as you can see, looks like Ethereum. This looks like Ethereum. You know how Ethereum did the same range bound environment from low to high, and then back to the mid range, and then we had a deviation of the mid range as well. This was all a deviation. It looks a lot like Ethereum as well. So it's actually respecting the same as Ethereum. I think this is a nice, simple, easier trade to pick on with a pullback, and it's tagged off the 2021's low on the weekly. We're holding it above there. It's still midway for the week as well. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see what's up then. So that's that there. I mean, I can go long on this now, all right? So for example, let's see. So we know we're above the 2021's low. 2021's low. We're holding it as support there. We had a bit of a deviation on this side over here. Once we smashed above it, all good. It's all good there. But we have found some resistance off where? Off this low here. That's where the resistance is. But we had a pullback. So it was in a range bound environment from this low here to this high here. That's the range bound environment, and we're holding support at the range high. So I can enter in, right? I can enter in with a that's about the mid range. You can see about that. Yeah, I can enter in, right? Hard, like my invalidation is below the range low. That's where I'm wrong. Like if we get there, I mean, like, yeah, you can have a hard stop right here, but like I don't want to see price coming back into the range and breaking back down, because then we're going back to the mid range, and if we don't hold the mid range, if we hold the mid range, happy days. Look to reclaim, and this will be a confirmation for you to enter, go back up higher. But if we start losing the mid range, then it looks kind of bad. Then what happens is we're looking back down, because we're expecting Ethereum to go up. If Ethereum is going to go up, then what we're looking for is this to hold, the range high to hold. So what we want to do, you can enter in right now, have a hard stop over here, for example, and what you're looking for is a bullish price action, a reclaim if you want confirmation, hold above this. Let's go back up to this area here, and then look for targets here, target 1, and then going to target 2. I'll react off here first. This area here is where I'll have my first set of targets there, which will be around $105.5. and then squeezing it to 110, so $109.5, something like that. Okay, that'd be the range high that I'd be looking for. So that's the way I'm looking at it in terms for Aave. Aave is actually a good long, like for swing trade, for a swing trade, because what it is, delete all this. What it is for me so far, because we know this is the range bound environment that was happening below the mid range. We don't want to see it come back below and find resistance below the mid range. So it's going to be a bit of a tight entry. It's not bad. It's not a bad entry. Because you see, when we pumped up, it's come back for a retest and it's holding about it there. So RV looks quite good for a bit of a long there to actually play up. I mean, if I were to do let's see from here, long position from here, stop loss. Let's say if I were to keep my stop loss here, example, aiming it to around here, 1.83R, 2.16R, not bad actually. It's not bad. And then as it goes up, I'll trail my stops as well. That's what I'm looking at, Goody. I want to see what yours, Goonie, is. Let's have a look. I did Pentoshi, yeah. Pentoshi definitely is a good thingy. Degen Spartan, never heard of him. I'm gonna check him out. Degen Spartan and Ranger. I'll check these guys out. You should stop. Yeah. This is just more of like stops. Like, I mean, we could talk about stops between us separately, but like the reason why I say like put a stop over here, it's just for like those who actually more it's just more of a what you call it, safer option as well, because not everyone's quite good at stop losses as well. So if I show them more of an easier stop, at least they can play this there. I mean, if I were to play a stop loss, I'd probably go to, let's say, 4 hours. My stop loss, me personally, because we're bullish momentum, I'll probably put it over here. I'm not advising anyone here. I'm happy to get stopped at here because I'm expecting. I don't mind price coming back down in here. Let me change the color because there's just too many pinks and stuff like that. I don't mind price coming back into this area, which has done that. It's found support, which is why I'm thinking that it's looking at bullishness. Once we break above this highs, hold above it, happy days, let's go up higher. So I'll probably put my stop loss over here. That's me personally. I might get stopped out, and I'm always happy to enter back in. But looking at that kind of play, my particular play, we're looking at how many hours is that? From here to here, playing up, target 1, 3.4. Not a bad play there, 7R there. Looking approximately 7R there. It's not a bad play. Again, if I get stopped out, I'm happy to lose an R and re-enter in again. I am going to look at Goonies now. I have permission to have a look at his. Let's see. You tagged me in. Let's see, my bro. There we go. See, here's my original message and updated plans. So I am RV weekly, blah blah. So you've been eyeing RV for quite a while. Let's have a look. I'm gonna bring this up in a second. I just wanna make sure I don't fucking show too much stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. I lost it. Oh, I went back I went back to an old link of yours, Goody. Was it? Oh, where is that post? Goody. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look. 2 charts over here. That's number 1, and that's number 2. Let's have a look. Okay, let's mark your ass out now. So number 1. So we've got this one day. So red is 2021's range. Oh yeah, nice. 21's you got 2021's range. Reclaim 21's range low. I can agree with that. It does look like it's definitely reclaimed it. Once we get back above these highs there, then yep, that's the confirmation there. Definitely agree with that. I'm marking your ass out on the fucking thingy. On right here. Dave Bell. Yeah. Dave Bell's definitely got. I think he's the guy behind Macrodisiac. Visualized range, so you marked out the same range as well. Potential short-term trade based on this range. Don't want it to lose in range to 2021's range low. Yeah, a range low, which is absolutely perfectly what he was saying, and I was saying the same thing. And we marked out exactly the same thing, and he's marked out the same area that I was looking at as well. So, Goody, you are on point. So, brownie points for you, my bro. I'm guessing like maybe we can get Pirate to cook us some brownies for us, innit? So he's marked out 2021's range as well. Reddish range low 21. Yeah, that's it, perfectly fine as well. And it's broken out the consolidation. Again, same thing with Bitcoin as well. So you see how it's broken out this, and we have this consolidation over here. I don't see it going back up higher, like going back up to like 34.76. You know, at 37.4.6. I don't see it going like that. I think what will happen is like, look, we can come off this area here. So you see this area of consolidation here. No, that's not right. I'm trying to type. Yeah, there we go. You see this area here. You see how price consolidated here, on support, wicks into it. I'm guessing it wicked into around the mid range, or 25% range, got heavier and heavier, and then we closed below it here. And we did one more retest of that base and then sell off. So I do think if we do break out of this, the next set of targets will be around here, around the 160 area of this base consolidation there. That's what I'll be looking for, and then eyeing out to see how we react as well. Because if we come back up and start breaking down, it's not looking fucking good. But if we can come back to 25% range, yeah, let's fucking play up higher, however it goes. Play it to this, and then as we break up and hold above it, let's fucking go up higher. This is on the weekly, obviously, but I'll narrow it down the daily and whatnot. Okay, so but yeah, perfectly fine. I think he's spot on, really spot on, very very spot on. Shout out to Goonie, man. Goonie, what's your fucking what's your Twitter? Let me plug you in. You know, let me plug your ass in. Oops. What was your Twitter again? I believe I know what it is. I'm gonna double check it. Close this, close that, bring up this. Where's Twitter? N1 Goonie, that's it. Let me see this. Number 1 Goonie. Goonie. Tyrant Feathers, that's you, isn't it? Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Tyrant Feathers, that's you. So I don't want to plug someone else that's not you. Then Harvey, anyone else got any alts? Trying to squeeze in 1 or 2 alts? Oh, that's you. Oh, you're Tyrant. Oh, Yuri. I keep mixing up because there's so many Goonies, Guyas, and Isbin. Goonie, what's yours, fam? You know what? Let me get Yuri, man. Yuri is my guy, innit? Shout out to motherfucking Yuri. And my fucking battery died, man. What a bastard. This stream has gone on for too long, that's why. I think trying to give me a sign. It's like, yo, like Britney Spears is saying, innit? Give me a sign, innit? Hit me, baby, one more time. I heart Goon. That's it. Heart of Goon. Give me a shout out to my boy Yuri here, Tyrant Feathers, man. I don't follow this guy. How the hell do I follow this geezer? Yuri is a magician when he, I think, on the charts as well. Really amazing guy. Hard-working geezer as well. Alright, so let's go back up. Back up. Yeah. Shout out to my guy Yuri. Tyrant Feathers, give him a follow, man. Lovely geezer, sick geezer as well. And it's Heart of Goon. Don't think I don't follow you. I'll follow you now, man. And that's it, man. Goonie, he's a very smart geezer. Really, really smart guy as well. He's got his hands everywhere. Everywhere and anywhere. I don't know where the guy is at, man. Some guy, this geezer is just he's plugged in. He's plugged into the system. Like, he's plugged in and he plugs himself out. Like, he's Morpheus. He's a sick geezer. He's a really, really cool guy. Shout out to him as well. Perfect chart as well. Perfect as well. Pretty much his chart was my chart, you know. So I copied him. You know, today I copied him. So that's Goonie for you. Big love to the geezer as well. CHC. We'll do CHC, and then I did promise to do Tesla. Then we'll call it a day because it is, you know, going on for too long. It's like 2 hours, man. Fuck's sake. I need to put chapters on this stream, you know. I'm gonna have to put some chapters on this. So yes, all right then. Let's have a look. CNC, interesting enough, right? So let's have a look. Let's go on this weekly. This is the weekly range. What have I got now? What have I got here? Yeah, it's a weekly range here. So we've got a weekly range here. This is quite a big, drastic weekly range there. As you can see, right? This high and this look high and low. Let me change the colors. This high and low on the range. You can see. Oh, what notification? Fuck off. That was a deviation of the range, right? come back up, found resistance, come back down, range low, and we've done a deviation of the range. We found support off here, which means that if anything, we can squeeze it back up to range, to mid-range, right? So not much of a fan of actually using such a drastic range, to be honest. Let me see if I can find something a bit more narrow. Fucking volatile though. We've now stepped in April's range actually. Yeah, I'll probably use this one. January's range. Probably use. I like to use January's range just to tighten it up, and let's see how we can play this level to level. And yeah, here we go. Just tighten this up on the monthly. That is in purple. Have more validity, more power there. 1 hour. Another daily. What the daily is looking like. As you can see right here, we found support. Right, we've done a deviation of the range. We've done a deviation of the range here, right? Because we found support here, and where do we find support of this area consolidation? You see this little block right there? That's the block that's held support. So it's showing us bullishness, broken out these highs. See this high? Breaking market structure, broke out these highs there. So now we're looking for a sort of pullback. What happens? Can we get a sort of pullback? And how do we play this level to level? Number one, right? And we have some inefficiencies here. Again, I'll be timing this quite carefully with Ethereum as well. Really like. Oh, bless you, Gandalf. Really appreciate that, man. For 8 hours, fucking hell, bro. I get bored of myself, fam. And I'm myself, you know. I'm the guy that talks too much. So much of my throat hurts. Don't know how you pay attention to me for so long, but we can smash this out. What time is it? Fucking 2 o'clock, G. So yeah, so looking for this, right? Ideally, what we'd like to see is some sort of pullback into here, right? If we can get a pullback, which it might not give us the pullback, no problem. If it doesn't give us the pullback to enter in here, right? No problem, right? And because what we're looking for is price to come back up and play back into this area of consolidation, into this base right there. See this here? This is the area consolidation where price was capped at, and then we'll be playing back up to target 1 over here and see how we react off there and squeeze up to fill out this inefficiency there into this base. That's the next set of targets. We'll be watching how it is, and that's the mid-range. The mid-range should be what we're watching this at. If we come at the mid-range, I'll keep an eye how Ethereum is doing at the same time. You always have to keep an eye on with Ethereum as well. Because remember, 1700, if we do go to 1700, that is an area of resistance, going to be major resistance, you know, so you have to be careful there. So look at this from a price action point of view. We're looking at let's see, yeah, playing it back into mid-range. That's what we're looking for. Definitely looking at taking profits in this area. Got inefficiencies here, fill this out, okay? Because the way it's been the momentum of it being bullishness, right? I can see it going back to mid-range. I don't see why not. This square squeezes that. But what happens if we don't get that pullback off this base? Well, I need to look for the next pullback. This. Well, we've seen it already. We hold it as support. So does it come back down and hold it and does this and go back up higher? We don't know. But if anything, if we close above, again, you can always enter this based on the validation. As long as we hold above the 25% range, I'll be looking, see how this reaction there. We're going to get some pullback there. Maybe it can pull back into here. And then we can squeeze it into this area and then to there. 24 cents is what I'm looking for. Around 24 cents is the area of resistance. And then we're going to see how that happens. If we react and hold above it, let's go up 28 and whatnot cents. Take out these highs and we squeeze up to range high. And that's it. And that's the price action we'll be looking for. And then from there, we'll see what happens next. Nothing else to it apart from it. And, you know, takes out the high. Does it take out the wick? We don't know. And does it range bound back into here? But for the time being, for me, this whole 2021's range, right? This January's range is actually quite pivotal. The mid-range is a pivot. You know, resistance here. It's choppy over here. Support. Once we lose it, resistance, deviation, sells off. So we're broken market structure on here. You know, so we focus on market structure itself. We've broken market structure on this side. It is still a bear market. It's a bear market rally to me. I mean, I don't want to see, like, this could be an area of where price can come up to and find resistance. and then sells off, because of what that is. That's the high. So it's because the market structure is bearish. Once we lose this low here, look at that. That's a bearish market. That's bearish, and a pullback. We're looking to short it, right? So I'd be quite careful on around the mid range, and around here, this area here. I'll time it with Ethereum at the same time. Yeah, you know what it is? It's 12:10 a.m. I'm thinking of the stream has gone on for 2 hours and 5 minutes. It's gonna be a long time as well. So just have a quickly look at Tesla and we move on. And then we end the stream result completely. This is been on two. Even though I need to have lunch as well. Look at Tesla, USDT. No, not USDT. Just Tesla, isn't it? There we go. What the fuck? So it's like Bitcoin though. Monthly. Take out these lows there. Let's go on the weekly. I'm not a fan of trading stocks, you know. I'm just not a fan of it myself, me personally, but you guys asked for it, so let's just do it then. So that's the low, so this is the high. What's the range? Yeah, let's look at SRs. So this is the high, capital market, right? And I would say it would be this low here. Let's hold the market a bit higher. I'd say this low in particular, right here. So we hold it as support. The mid range probably comes around here, right? So the question is, does it come? Oh, I don't fucking like stocks, man. It's just weird to try this. It's just really weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna shy away from it. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, brother. Thank you so much for that, Jordan. Really appreciate that, man. Don't jinx it now, innit? Yeah, I've never really traded stocks, so it's a bit of a weird one, though. But we do know one thing for certain, though. If we're bullish on ES, I'm expecting more of the upside on stocks across the market. You know, see how it goes. What I'm quite cautious about, like again, market structure: high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We've taken out these lows here, so this could just be another bear market rally to where into these areas here, filling out this gap there, maybe filling out this gap there. We could find resistance over there. So if I were to look at an SR, just focusing on this point of view, let's go on the daily. See, I can't use the same mind frame of fill out gaps, because it's not the same. It's not going to be the same. Because look, we got gaps over here. We got gaps over here, you know. So I can't use the same principle there. So looking at this low here, I'd say this low here. Yeah, I'd say this low there, and I'd say this high here. This is where we're going to focus on, this area here. So market structure wise, I mean, it's bullish in its own way. I'll be looking for a reclaim off this low here. This is where we're finding resistance. This is where we're finding resistance as it is. Reclaim and hold above it. Look to long it, playing it back into this area here. I mean, that's what I'll be looking for. Mid range will be approximately here. Approximately. Let me do the mid range actually. Fuck it. From this low to this high. I'll have to. Yeah, that's it. That's more like it. So yeah, it makes sense. See where I was looking for market. The SR is at the 25% of the range. So focusing on this area here itself, this is how I'll be looking to play it. Reclaim here, hold above it, play it back to mid range. From the mid range at $235.20, we'll see how we react. If we hold above it, then I'll be looking to go back up to 75 the range high, and that's the range band level, playing it there. Do we go up and break up and come into this area here or this area here? We don't know. We'll have to work it out level to level as the time comes. But I'll be trading it as a level to level basis there, because if the market decides to set, to actually dump, it can just dump down over here, and that was all just stuck in this range here. So we've got to work out this level there. That's Tesla really for really as it is. I'm gonna call it an end, and I would love to catch, speak more for another 2-3 hours. I would love to do that, but I do have to head out though. And thank you so much for actually, being on the show and actually being patient with me. All of you guys, there was quite a number of us, and they all left. But thank you so much for that, guys. Shout out to you guys. Big love to you guys, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. And no mucking about tomorrow, okay? So plans all there for Ethereum BTC. Ethereum's pulling back a little bit as well, so it's all good. So we have some time. Just keep an eye on the levels that we talked about. BTC is pulling back to 20.5k. Look, in terms of BTC, we can. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to retest this to 19k. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not in any longs yet. Okay, I'm not in any longs on BTC yet. I'm just watching this level to level. We're gonna monitor this in the country club as well. Let's see what happens. So, I mean, does it find support off here? That's the thing. Does it find support off here? Which will make sense. If it comes back here and finds support, I'm happy to enter in based on invalidation. This is where I'm completely wrong. Play it back up higher, and obviously we discussed there was a range bound environment here as well. So I mean, you can keep a tie to stop loss there, as long as we don't come back into here and lose this level there. Okay, so that's it for me. Smash the likes if you guys haven't done so. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys. Big love.